Initiating hyperspace launch sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Uncaged Creativity Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Sherman, here with co-host
Christian Carranza.
And we have the wonderful, the spectacular Janny with us today. Janny, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. This feels so strange being on this end of a microphone. Usually I'm always the one asking questions and not being like here to chat with other people in this way, but we love it.
I'm so excited to put you in the hot seat this time.
Well,
it is
like,
great.
If it makes if it makes you feel any better, we have no questions prepared.
That's true.
I mean,
I feel like normally we don't announce that, but
I'm sure I could answer any question.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is the capital of Turkey? Just kidding. Do you know? Wait, do you actually know? That would be so impressive.
Istanbul, is it not?
I don't
know.
I have no idea.
We're ignorant Americans. We know.
Wow.
We know. All we know is like
This could
what
be
California
so
is.
You
embarrassing.
heard it
Oh
here
my god,
first.
maybe we don't put that in there.
How are you doing today, Janny?
No. Wait. Second question.
What?
Second question.
Can that be the second question?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh god.
Ready?
Why did I say that?
I know what he's going to ask.
What is your second favorite cereal?
My second favorite cereal, Cinny Minis. I don't know if you even know
I've
those.
never heard of
I've never
those.
heard of
What
that
is
either.
that?
I think they're European ones. They're like little cinnamon swirlies.
Whoa.
They're really
That sounds really
pretty
good.
Yeah.
I feel like I might need to try that now,
Yeah,
actually.
Me too.
Dang.
Okay, now continue with
That
your
is a
question.
great
Yeah.
answer. How are you doing today, Janny? How's your day and your week been?
The day was long, to be honest. I was tired until like an hour ago. Now I'm awake, which is really weird. But I came back from the UK yesterday night
Oh, geez.
and then went straight to work today. So today was like hustle, hustle, hustle. And then, yeah.
Whoa.
What's in the UK?
What's in the UK? Well, a bunch of my friends, plus then obviously like went there to work on some stuff with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
We're doing
out,
like this
Matt.
music project,
That's why I asked
so
the
just
question.
shout out to Matt already. Like we're not even, I don't know, 10 minutes in and his name has already been mentioned.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry,
did that
Matt,
on
you're being
purpose.
dragged into everything.
So,
To the people that don't know who he is, he's like a good friend of mine and we work on a bunch of cool creative projects together. So
Yeah, I was curious. What is your role in all of that? Because you used to be on with his band Primyl Vinyl, and they recently announced that the band is not going to be continuing. So, what is your role in all of this?
what is my role in all of this? We're still figuring out the details a little bit, but we always say I basically manage him now.
Nice.
Or I try to do that. So obviously we started working together when the band was still going and I was like starting to help them out with socials and stuff. And then that became in just being more involved with everything that involved promo as well and music releases. So when that band project kind of crumbled away a little bit, it was mainly us two trying to build a new project and brainstorm about a new project, which is still in that kind of same soundscape. So it's very much in this alternative modern rock world. But at the same time, this is probably something that even people that have been like following his band or something don't really know. He works on a lot of other music projects as well, where he did like where he does composing, for example, so orchestral stuff, or even like a dance track quite recently. So he's a very diverse musician and we're trying to work together on all of it, basically.
Cool. That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this.
Ask it.
Do you know if there's like is there like a timeline where we can expect new music from Mr. Matt, or is that top secret or?
No, that is actually, I mean, I'd be happy if we would have a timeline that was that specific that I could spoil something here, but it's still very much a question of figuring out a lot of things.
Yeah.
But there is definitely new music coming. For sure.
Awesome.
There are some very exciting things in the making, so it's happening.
You heard it here first, folks.
What kind of
You've heard
genre
it.
is it going to
Heard it
be?
here first.
What kind of genre? Is it like rock, alternative? Is it more grungy?
Yeah.
Rock and
Yes,
alternative?
a rock alternative, but just you could say more modern, more electronic elements. So
Ooh.
to name some band, more down like the Don Broco-y kind of route,
Nice.
a bit of Bring Me. So
Cool.
Cool.
Love it. So,
yeah.
Janny, I know about you mostly, or let me word it this way. Our interaction mostly, or our public interaction mostly, is through journals and journeys, right? So
That's
how did that
Yep.
start? And let the people know who might not know like anything about you, what that is, where they can find it, and how that all started.
Sure. So basically, Journals and Journeys is my YouTube channel where I do music reviews as well as like interviews and basically everything that's kind of in that realm. It mainly focuses on music within like the alternative and rock genre, just because that's like the kind of music I'm very much into.
Yeah.
And basically just started out because I felt like I was annoying everyone around me by just talking about music all the time. And when it started out, I didn't have a lot of friends that were into music or let alone that kind of music. And I needed to put my energy somewhere. So I was like, where else to put it except for like YouTube, you know? Because people can choose to either watch it or they can choose to not watch it.
Yep.
And I won't annoy anyone. And there's a few people that chose to watch it, and it kind of just like grew from there. Did it a bit on the side, and it was definitely one of the things that kept me sane during the pandemic,
Yeah.
especially because I couldn't go to shows and stuff anymore, couldn't see friends at shows anymore. So doing that was a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and I met a lot of amazing people through it. Like you said, I wouldn't know you, I wouldn't know Christian without the channel either. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Has there been a specific interview or a specific review that was specifically like really, really exciting for you to do, or like anything like that? Like anything that stands out to you in what you've done so far?
Don't say Daniel.
It's not allowed. Also, don't
No,
make me
I
blush.
do really love our interview series for sure. It's so much fun, and you're the person that appeared on my channel the most, I'd say. So well done, Daniel. Well done.
Returning guest.
Love those. Love those. But I think probably the most, I'd say, memorable moment almost for me was when I was able to get Philip from Normandy on the channel, because Normandy have been a band. I listened to them for the first time back in 2017, and back then I was a very different person, and I was in a very different headspace to where I am now. So they basically started listening to them in like this really dark phase, and like now looking at them, it feels like a bit like a new beginning, you could say, because I didn't listen to them for a long time, and then I got back into them, and it was like suddenly like, wow, this band that I've been listening to for so long and that I've been loving, there's actually like one of them sitting in front of me, and I can pick their brain a little bit, which was super cool.
That's incredible. That's incredible. It's cool how
Yeah.
music can kind of do that too, where you grow up with the artist a little bit, even though it's like someone you've never met. But I can think of a lot of artists, like Linkin Park was one of those artists where, you know, I
You went through all the phases.
yeah, like it was weird because I was younger when it first started, so I wasn't necessarily there for like Hybrid Theory and those records.
You
But
were probably into it when Minutes to Midnight.
Minutes to
Yeah.
Midnight was the first one that I remember when it came out, and then kind of followed them after that. It's pretty cool to be able to say that with an artist.
So before we get
Yeah.
super off topic,
Yes.
I need to find out how you know Daniel, because I just fell in here. I don't know. I just like ended up here. I don't know. It's weird. So how did you find Daniel? Because if it wasn't for Daniel and you shouting him out, I would have like never seen you, because I only saw your page because Daniel reposted something that you did. So how did that all come about?
Well, I'll tell the story, and if I'm going wrong anywhere, Daniel just, jump in and fill in the blanks.
I honestly don't remember,
But-
so
I figured.
you could totally lie to me.
You don't remember, so I could basically
you can
make
totally
something
lie,
cool up,
make up some
but-
crazy story. I'll believe it.
I don't know if I'm creative enough for that. No, but it all started out with Parand, actually. Because I remember the first time I met Parand was through a band called The Fame, and we went to see a show of theirs together. That was like the first time we met. And we had a sleepover the night before with like another friend of ours, and she played some music from Crown and Chains and
Parand
was
did?
really excited about it. She was like, oh, you should totally listen to Crown and Chains. And to be honest, I listened to Crown and Chains that evening and I really enjoyed it, but I didn't return to Crown and Chains for like a long time after that. I am very sorry. But she just kept on mentioning like you and Crown and Chains and whatnot. So eventually I went back, listened to it, and then you started dropping your solo material, Daniel. And Paran was like, you should totally, do one of your reaction videos to Daniel's solo material.
That's right.
And I was like,
and you did,
and
you
I
did
was like,
Seasons in
okay,
Freedom.
sure.
I remember that.
So I did that. And it was actually in the same video where I listened to Primyl Vinyl for the first time as well.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
So that
Dang.
video was like a big milestone in the journals and journeys history, you could say.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I had no
I
idea.
didn't know that you started listening like heavily to Daniel when he was into the solo stuff. Because that's when I met you also. So we met him around the same time then.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So what got you into this, like, when did you like find out that music was like the thing for you? We all have things where like we kind of like bounce around between different activities and places and groups of friends, but like there's something about like what I do with videos and photos or even with music where like I found it and I feel like I found like my niche,
Your
like my group
people.
of people. Like when did that moment happen for you?
Ooh, it's a bit difficult to say. I feel like for me, there was different phases to it. It all started out around 2017 when I went to my first, proper gig. It was a band called Counterfeit. By now, they have sadly broken up, but used to love them. They were like my favorite band. And I remember like going to their show and being completely like overwhelmed by just the power and energy in the room. I didn't sleep for like a day, like no joke. I was just so hyped. I was so hyped up. So I was like, okay, I need to go and see them again. So I looked where they would play next. And it was at a festival a few months later. Never been to a festival in my life. I was like, fuck it. Just bought the tickets. Didn't even have people to go with. Then I met someone at my uni that went to the same festival. So we decided to go together with some of his friends. And yeah, I kind of went more into like the whole music genre, rock direction that way. Started going to a bunch of gigs, just meeting a bunch of people. Then through that, started the YouTube channel, which I just did for fun. And I think the realization that I do want to go into music, as in want to do it as my career as well, that kind of came throughout lockdown from like late last year onwards until now. And it's starting to become like clearer and clearer by the day, which is both exciting and very terrifying.
Yeah.
So we love it.
That's the right words. That's how you know you're in the right thing, when it feels exciting and terrifying. I could tell you from experience. But it's cool to know that people like you want to be involved in like music management and things like that, which is like what you want to do, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
for
like,
sure.
how do you feel about the industry as a whole right now? Because like in my perspective, it sucks. But I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
Big question.
Oh my God. How do I feel about the industry as a whole? Well, long story short, I think it's a very fucked up industry as it is. There is a lot that's definitely not okay with it. But we can just, if we want to be a part of it, we can just try and do the best that we can within our little sphere of influence. And just kind of stay true to the music you want to make, stay an authentic person, because obviously there's a lot of inauthenticity also going on in the industry. And then let's not talk about like royalties and fairness towards artists and all that. It's just fucked up.
Yeah,
That's all you could say about it.
Yep.
I don't know if you would agree.
No, I would.
We are on the same page.
Yeah, I asked because I recently started learning this. I've always heard that it's been pretty messed up, but up until recently, I've been just trying to go to shows and just take photos of bands, just because, why not? But and because I've been doing kind of the same thing you guys have, where I just go to shows by myself now, which I've never done.
Yeah.
But I've really enjoyed it because you could just go ham and not really care like about losing a friend in the crowd or whatever. You could just push forward. So I've been trying to take pictures of bands, but that's when I started getting involved in like the politics of it. Of like, you can't just DM. You can DM the artist and ask them, "Hey, can I shoot for you?" You might get lucky, probably not.
Yeah.
They might they might say yes, but you might not actually get access. Then like you'll get to the venue and then the venue will be like, oh, well, you got to hit up the venue. And then like you'll hit up the venue and then the venue's like, oh, you got to hit up their manager. And it's like, how do you want me to get that information?
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
I just recently started learning about all that stuff.
He's also heard me
Yeah, you
ranting
too.
about the music industry a lot in the last year.
It
So-
makes it just makes no sense to me.
no, it doesn't
at
make
all.
sense to anyone except for the people making money off of it.
Yeah,
But-
it's a
true.
really messed up system for sure. But I mean, like, what would you say, Christian, though, has been. Did you have little like breakthrough moments where you got to shoot like an artist you were like really excited about, where they did maybe respond to the DM or like the venue did leave you in?
Don't point at me. That doesn't count. I don't count. I'm not real.
I'd say Daniel for sure. Or actually, no, I'll go way back.
Yeah.
UFN. When I shot
Were
for
they
UFN,
like your first band that let you shoot them?
no, I've had other bands reach out to me, but long story short, I'm really picky with it because like I was a musician first and then I started doing this. So I never wanted to do a video for a musician I didn't like because then it would just, you're listening to the song on repeat. And if you don't like the song, you don't like the artist, then you're just like, you want to tear your hair out. So UFN was
Yeah.
the first band that like, you know, I was like, wow, like how do I get more involved in this? And then through UFN, I met like everybody in their sphere. Like there's the late AM, there's Salvatore, there's Daniel. And that's when I'm trying to pivot into that world too, from like mainly doing like fitness and like, you know, like highlight videos from doing that. Cause that's usually what I'm known for here is like fitness stuff and like, you know, stuff like that. But I want to pivot more into music. So I'm trying to learn a lot about it myself too. Like one thing I say to Daniel all the time is like, how do we organize like at least a small tour? I have no idea how to do it, but it's like just even, I thought, you know, you just book the venue and just like drive a van, you're like, you're good. But
Yeah.
there's so many hoops they want you to jump through. So
Yep.
that's why I'm like interested in what made you passionate about wanting to like manage musicians from what it sounds like. Cause you sound, and you seem very passionate about it and you like creating content and things like that. So how
Yeah.
have you been doing? Has it been a learning process, like doing all the content for Matt and stuff like that? How's that been?
Oh my God. So much. It's been such a journey. Oh my God. I feel like I definitely learned stuff. But there's still so much to learn. I remember like when I was starting out to do more things with Matt. So basically in the very beginning, started doing content, starting out with a few like Spotify canvases. So literally just like the small animation things in the background, then started sharing a few ideas about how we could design the feed for social media. So like how can you edit pictures, editing a few videos here and there. So did that. But then it got to a point where he wanted to release like these reimagined versions of songs they'd already put out. So I was starting to get a little bit involved with the release campaign of that. And mind you, at the time when he first told me about the idea, I did not know what a digital distributor was.
I
had
don't
no
know
idea.
what that is.
I didn't know what an electronic press kit was or how you even, would approach any sort of press or something. No idea.
Yeah.
So just did a bunch of reading, YouTube video watching, talking to people, and it's been like the same ever since. And I feel like I've come so far also like understanding and how long it takes for one single song to go from like very beginning, I have an idea to,
Yeah.
being done and recorded. And it's absolutely mental, but it's such a fascinating process. And I'm really grateful that I've met so many amazing people through it that have been helping me so much along the way, like answering my bazillion questions and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, it is a whole world when you get into distribution and royalty splits and publishing and electronic press kits and all of that stuff. It is a whole thing that there's no like, I mean, I'm sure there is formal training for that, but it's,
I don't think
you
there is.
kind of just,
unless you go to college.
you just jump in. It's like,
Yeah.
here you go, enjoy. They
Yeah.
shove you into it. So, no, that's a tall order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious,
Which
Janny,
is-
to pivot, if that's okay.
no.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Go for it.
There's no rules here, Christian.
Okay.
I was curious how
Oh,
you
God.
fell in love with lyric analysis and song analysis in that way, specifically, because those are some of my favorite things or my favorite content that you put out is when you just dive into a song. And there's times where it feels like your hands are all up in my cranium because you know exactly what I was thinking, and it's almost scary how good you are at it. And so I was curious, like,
Well, thank you.
how you got into that. I know, like, for me, I started just naturally annotating other bands' lyrics because I was curious. But I don't really know other people who've fallen in love with that. So I was curious how that started for you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really exactly know why or how I even started. It just, you could almost say it kind of happened when I started talking about music on my channel, because I am not a musician. So I don't play any instruments and I don't really know anything about song structure or whatnot. Might have like a bit more of an idea now than I did a while ago, but still don't really understand much of it. So I was like, how can I like talk about songs in a way that I don't just talk crap all the time?
Yeah.
What can I do? And I've always loved doing like poem analysis, and like I do a lot of like writing myself, which no one ever reads, but that's fine. So
I
I
would read it.
definitely,
I would read it too.
yeah.
You have your like
you've read
you
a
have
few
so much
things
good
of mine,
exposure
Daniel.
that I would read it because you're like exposed to so much good music and good lyrics, and you like know how to dissect stuff like that. I'd read it.
Just saying, if you put out poetry, we would blast it on our
Yep,
socials. We
for
would
sure.
get people to buy
Oh,
it. Yeah.
oh, don't say that.
Throwing it
I might
out
just
there.
do it. Who knows? You know, new year, new challenges. No, but that's kind of how I got into it, through like, because I always liked poem analysis. So I was like, I'll just do that with songs. I guess that works. So it was about just trying to understand the narrative that it transported for me.
Yeah. That's so
It
cool.
went from there.
That's super cool.
Cool. What are you listening to right now? Like, give me. I know that's a really loaded question, even for me, but like, give me 3 artists that you're like constantly on rotation besides Daniel.
Okay, well, that takes the main option away, I guess. I've been listening to a bunch of Press to Miko. They're a small UK band. They also kind of recently put out a record. It's so cool. It's almost a bit like progressive rock. It's alternative, and they have so many like quirky things in there where you're like, damn, like put trumpets into a song where you have suddenly a metal riff and stuff. It's
That's
crazy,
gnarly.
but
Yeah.
it's so good. And these guys, they're insane live as well. So been listening to them a lot. Then an artist, she's called Cassiette. I think that's how you pronounce her. She sounds a bit like Pink, but more modern rock, a bit riffier. So she's really cool. And who else have I been listening to? I always listen to so much that I don't really know what I listen to. Do you ever have that problem?
Yes.
100% yes.
So I'm like, who
For
do I
sure.
listen to? Has like 3,000 songs on rotation, but doesn't know who they listen to.
I always, whenever Christian asks me that, or whenever anyone asks me that, I have to like scroll through like, what are my recently listened to
Yeah.
songs? Oh yeah, I do listen to that a lot. It's the whole
Literally.
thing.
Like that one episode we did when we did like top 3 artists of like 2020. That was like, it was easy, but it was so hard because it was like on the spot
Yeah.
that like I just kind of winged the last one because like I didn't remember what it was, and then like once after we
Yeah.
aired it, I was like, oh, it was this band. So it was like too late by
He
now.
did. He literally texted me. I remember that.
Yeah.
We got done with the podcast.
It's like,
he texted
I remember.
me, this is what I
now.
meant
Yeah,
to talk
I remember
about.
that episode. So let's put you on the spot again. I'll put the question right back at you two. What are
Oh.
you guys listening to right now then? Go on.
Go ahead, Christian.
You want me
Bring
to
on
go first?
answers.
Go ahead, Christian.
But then if I do this, you know what? I'm going to do this anyways because like I wanted to do a whole episode about this, but now we get to incorporate it in this episode.
Yeah.
Great success. Okay, easy. You have my phone. Dang it! I have it on my phone.
I know. I
actually
just
wrote
did
it
the
down this
same
time.
thing. I also just patted
right.
my pockets.
Okay.
Okay, but I think you're going to be familiar with them. I feel like bands in the UK, like you guys know about them first, and then they become big over here. Like Stand Atlantic, like you guys have had them for like I don't know how long, and I just recently found out about them, and I feel like I've been living under a rock. So if I say some of these artists, it'd probably be like you guys have probably known about them for a long time.
And let the record show,
Okay.
like, I know Christian doesn't live under a rock because I'm in his apartment right now. So he does not
Oh,
own
okay.
a rock.
It's not under
He
a
has an
rock. So it's not
apartment.
like Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yes, the SpongeBob references. We're all for that. So my first one is gonna be Nothing Nowhere, which I'm
Yeah.
sure Daniel knows. It's no surprise.
I
Have
knew
you
that
heard
was
of
gonna
them?
be the
Have you
first
heard of
name out of
him?
your mouth.
Yeah. Good. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. Saw him
Yeah.
live before.
Kim was telling me that like she listened to him like before the like most recent album dropped, and I was like, what? Like I just found this guy. So that's my number one. My number two is Kenny Hoopla, that I got into because Nothing Nowhere did a song with him. So that's how I got into him. And then my third one is Jaden, but it's spelled like JXDN. He's like a super pop punk artist, and he opened up for MGK
Interesting.
when I saw him like a month ago. And at first, I'll be honest, like I'll probably buy meet and greet tickets to see him on his next tour in May. And like
Hey, nice.
I went to see MGK, and like I didn't really care about the artist that much. Like I didn't really do any like research. But this guy was like jumping around on stage, and he had so much energy. The only thing that bothered me was that he looked like Justin Bieber. That was like literally the only reason I would just like, I'm not going to watch
Do you
that.
have a problem with Justin Bieber? Huh? My
Ooh.
13-year-old self would be very offended right
little
now.
bit.
Oh, my
A little bit.
21-year-old self is very offended. That's my boy.
But yeah, I was like, I don't know. I just thought it was one of those like, there's a lot of rappers now that are doing pop punk, and I'm just like, I'm not like one of those gatekeeper dudes, but I can kind of tell when it's a little
No.
not genuine, you know? But then
Yeah.
he really got my attention with his energy. And then his drummer, he's like a dude that has like half pink and half blue hair, and this guy was going nuts. So yeah, and it's just like
Sweet.
I've been completely obsessed with him. And if I meet him next time on his tour, I will tell that to his face. I'm like, dude, I didn't like you because like the way you look, but I really like your music.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a big compliment for the record.
yeah.
To like, for
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
like, that would be a huge compliment. If someone's like, yo,
figured.
I don't really like the way you look, but your music sounds great. I'd be
Yeah.
like, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
I figured it wouldn't be offensive.
No, not at all. It's
What are
a
yours,
way
Daniel?
bigger compliment.
What are
told
yours?
that way. Oh, I've been trying to think this whole time you were talking. I think my number one.
Well, go on then.
What are you? Oh, making sure the camera's going. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was Inception. Oh my god.
That was trippy.
Because he literally walked out of frame and then he walked right back into frame right there. I was like, who? What?
Are you flossing right now? No, absolutely not. I think my number one artist is, I feel late to the game on this one too, but Matt Mason. He's like an alternative folk type guy. I like have been bumping him on repeat on the regular
What is it?
lately. Matt Mason.
Matt Mason.
Yeah,
Never heard of
Mason
this.
spelled Maeson. Matt Mason. He's super talented.
What kind of music is it?
Interesting.
It's like alternative folk.
Where do you
it's
come
like,
up with this stuff?
I don't. Well, that's the best way I know
Yeah,
to
I was
describe
like,
his genre.
what?
But it's folk, like it's guitar. His voice has that rasp and that like not southern, but that like a
Yeah, I know what you're
like
talking
a,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he comes in with these like big pop drums and these big like poppy choruses, and it's just so cool. So I've really fallen in love with him.
You're so cool.
Stop it. Stop it, you.
Huh.
Um.
Look at the love in the room.
Oh, there's too much. There's too much. Second artist. Oh gosh. I discovered this band in a coffee shop with Jack Schaefer.
Dude, that is the best thing ever.
We
When you
were-
like go somewhere, you're like,
Interesting.
what is this?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay,
So we're
go
sitting in
ahead.
this coffee shop, and we're talking, and I'm talking to him about a project that I'm working on, and like this, how there's this really specific tone that I'm trying to hit, but I haven't found many artists who do it. And then like 5 minutes after that conversation, this song plays, and I'm like, that's exactly what I was talking about. What the heck is this? And so I held up my phone and found out who it was, and it was a band called The Marias. Vocals like
Interesting.
Billie Eilish,
Oh, okay. I'm already in.
but
Digging it.
and almost similar production too. But the production's like got a jazzy lo-fi like element thrown into it, but it's very much alternative pop. Super unique band. I've totally fallen in love with them as well. And I'd say my third artist is one that I know for a fact I'm late to the game on, but k.flay.
Oh, bro.
I love
yeah.
k.flay.
Yeah,
Oh.
k.flay is so good.
I'd never like
Yeah.
I'd heard k.flay. I'd never dove into k.flay, and now I'm like all about it.
Yeah.
All
She
about
just
it.
dropped a new EP.
I know it's
You like
fire
it?
too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Haven't listened to that one yet.
It's pretty good.
Worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Better than the Taylor Swift album that just came out.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Just
We
saying.
love
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Daniel loves Taylor Swift.
I'm
We don't.
aware.
We love
There's
the Taylor Swift
no
love.
Taylor Swift slander on my podcast. Thank you.
I'm very aware. So
Yeah.
were you able to guess my three?
I knew the first one for sure.
Okay, cool.
I don't think I knew any of the. I didn't expect the other ones.
Cool. I'll be completely honest with you, Janny. I had no idea who that was. But I like things like this because, like,
We're gonna look it up.
Yeah, I will go and look it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
I love when people just send me, like, yo, listen to the song, because I will actually listen to it and I will dive into it. Some people
Yeah.
just, like, you send a friend a song and you know damn well they didn't listen to it. Because, like, 30 seconds later, they're like, this is so cool. I'm like, the song is 3 minutes long. You didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's facts.
right?
Yeah.
I
do
always
that all the
try
time.
and go
other
and listen
people.
to stuff people actually recommend me.
You do
So
too?
yeah, did the same thing. I did. Yeah, I love doing that, and especially when it's like an artist I don't know. The other day I met someone for coffee, and he was like, "Oh, there's this artist. She's like really cool, up and coming. She's called Alien Blaze."
Whoa, that is a
And
dope
I
That is
went-
name.
awesome.
That is a
Alien
cool
And I
name.
went. I think you might actually like her as well. She's really cool. She's it's also like alternative, but like dark. It's like a dark Billie Eilish a bit, like super dark.
Yes.
Billie Eilish is already dark.
Definitely check her out. So yeah,
Definitely.
can recommend.
Have you heard of? I just found this last night. They're called Not My God. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
It is. I will show it to you.
No.
It is the most dark, disturbing music I've ever heard in my entire life.
Wow.
Do I want to listen to that then? I don't know if I do.
I like dark and disturbing and eerie.
That's true. You
Yeah.
do like dark and disturbing.
Yeah.
The true story about Christian.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm
Oh,
about to
story
I
say?
have
time,
no
go on
idea
then.
what you're about to say.
True story about Christian. It's definitely his serial killer trait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You know how everyone has like a
Is-
serial killer trait? Like it's
please
one
explain.
thing. There's like one thing that like is an absolute serial killer trait in everybody. Like some people put their milk before
Mm.
the cereal when they pour cereal. Do you actually?
No, I don't. It's
Oh,
disgusting. It
you
just
scared
splashes.
me.
It just splashes everywhere.
Yeah, okay, we're on
Yeah.
the same page. I was nervous that you had two
No,
because
no.
that's like a really big red flag if you have more than one. But the Christian serial killer trait is that sometimes when he's just driving around, he will blast the soundtrack to
Oh,
the
yeah.
horror movie Sinister for no reason, just because he enjoys it. And like, I don't know if you've ever
Okay.
heard the soundtrack
Okay.
to the movie Sinister,
No.
but it is mad creepy, like very unsettling.
Especially at night on like a dirt road where
Do you
there's
like
nothing
put
for
down the
miles.
windows and stuff and then just like blast it?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. Like full blast too, like as loud as it
That's
goes.
so terrifying.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, I see. I like
Okay.
feeling uncomfortable when I'm watching a movie. When I'm in the car,
Or when you're actually in one of your music videos. You like being uncomfortable
Yeah,
in your music
true.
videos, Daniel. Don't lie.
No.
You choke yourself.
100% true. 100% true. But when I'm like in the car listening to music, I'm not like, you know what I should do? I should be really creeped out right now. That sounds like a pleasurable thing to be really unsatisfied and uncomfortable. I don't know how you do that. It's crazy.
I like it. Have you seen that movie, Janny? It's called Sinister.
No.
Oh my
and
gosh,
If
it
it's
is
a
like-
horror movie, I will never watch it. I can't watch horror movies. Not possible.
Why not?
Yeah.
They just creep me out so
Exactly.
much. I cannot. I will not sleep for weeks. Do you want me to not sleep ever again in my life?
That's kind of funny. I didn't realize you don't like horror stuff.
Yeah,
which
because
is
most of Daniel's stuff is like horror stuff.
yeah. How did? Let me ask you this then. Was there? I'm trying to think how to word this question. When you listen to Uncaged, did you like hear the horror elements, and were you kind of like, not for me, or did it work for you? You can be honest
It
too. I won't
worked.
be offended.
No, it actually it worked for me. And so like do all the visuals. I'm not creeped out by them, but I think that's because I know you.
Yeah, true.
And you're not a creepy person. But I feel like if I came across that just like randomly on YouTube, I'd probably be like, the fuck?
I mean, that's what I'm going for. So perfect.
But I guess in that way you broaden my horizon, you know? You're the only horror content I can consume, Daniel.
There you go. I'm glad.
Congratulations.
I'm very glad. That actually was a big part of the goal too. I
Yeah.
wanted to present horror to people who wouldn't seek it out.
To
So.
be fair, I cannot watch Floral Mask. It makes me really uncomfortable.
I can't either.
But was it because you were there while it was happening, or
It was uncomfortable. We were in a forest in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and he was on the floor spitting and choking himself out. And I'm sure there was people like hiking that heard it, and like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
There's
like
no way there were.
like when I went
Oh,
in
God.
and redid the remastered version, I just went in and took the old audio, put the new audio in, and I just like watched it to make sure it didn't glitch or anything. And just watching it made me like so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes
did a
me
great job
uncomfortable
with that
still
one.
too. Tell her about
great
the
job
first
with
time
that
we
one. I
worked
can't
together.
watch it. That's why it's great.
Did you hear about that, Janny? About the first time that me and Daniel worked together?
I don't know if I did.
Okay, so
Go
Daniel
tell the
hits me
story
up.
then.
in April, like during quarantine, and then he's like, "Hey, I don't have any money, but like this was before we were cool." He was like, "I would like you to like shoot a music video like for this song if you like it," and I really liked it. It was for Inside, and I met him in the middle of nowhere, where we shot inside, and we walked pretty far out into the field.
Yep.
And I thought nothing of it. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like he seemed like a cool dude. And like right when we get like really far out, he looks at me and he's like, "I swear I'm not going to kill you." Like that is not something you say to somebody when you meet them for the first time.
I thought I was being comforting. I thought it was like, in my head, I was like, this dude thinks I'm going to kill him. So the natural thing you do when someone thinks you're going to kill them is you let them know kindly that that's not what's going to happen. So I thought
But
I was
that's so
easing your mind.
suspicious.
No.
Or have you seen horror movies? Or sometimes they do tell them that and then they do kill them.
Is that true?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Is
why
that
I'm like,
what
it's so
killers do?
suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Or like
realize
in
that.
crime shows as well. Like in crime shows, I'll always be like, "Don't worry, you're fine." Next moment, they're dead.
Was
So-
it would it have been better if I was like, I'm gonna kill you out here? Would that-
Probably.
Oh my god.
Because then I would be expecting
Because he
it.
could have laughed it off.
No
He could have
way.
been like, "Haha, you're so funny. Okay, can we get this done now?"
Yeah.
I also remember after shooting Inside, I got a text from you where you were like, honestly, it was really creepy watching you go in and out of character.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that I like about working with Daniel is like me being like the cinematographer, I can't control like what the other people do. Like once the camera's on, it's just like it's you. So like I can't do anything about that. But Daniel's ability to like flip the character on like that is so freaking weird. I'm used to it now. Like and like Richard and Trinity have said that.
Yeah.
Like you just be normal chilling and then you'll be like flipping around in a chair tied to the chair.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what the job calls for.
Mhm.
You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Just a true actor.
I'm trying.
Yeah, we're working on the movie later, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm nervous for that.
Yeah, me too. Just a
Yeah.
little bit. Just a little
In
bit.
a good way, though.
Mhm.
It's a good
I
nervous.
mean, isn't it that movie project that got like pushed back that was supposed to happen like last year and now it's
like,
happening now?
we've been trying for almost 3 years. You realize that?
No.
Right?
No.
Is that not true? 2
No.
years?
3
No.
years.
3 years, bro. I didn't know you 3 years ago.
It's been, well,
You've been trying for 3 years.
I've been trying for 3 years. We've been trying for 1.5 years, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there's just too much with like Uncaged and like doing this. Like we want to make sure that
Yeah.
that stuff comes first.
I mean,
So
you guys are
it-
bang on with the content. And then there was like the Lonely Live show, obviously, which
Oh
was
my gosh,
a lot
dude.
of work.
Oh.
Every time I think about that,
the
it like
fact
hurts
you
my
managed
soul.
to pull that off is just insane. I don't know how many hours of footage that must have been, but I commend you for, combing through it and putting it all together because I don't know if I could have pulled through, to be honest.
If there was ever a time where I was like, Daniel, I can't do this anymore, it would be that time.
I think we both, whenever we hear the phrase "lonely live show," even just saying it like that,
It's like,
there's like
oh no.
there's all the positive memories, but on top of those positive memories is all like that last week was brutal.
Yeah.
Before it came out, so I think we like there's a little bit of pain there.
Just a
There's
little,
bit of pain there.
Oh my gosh, it makes me feel sick. a
Well,
little bit.
Janny, is there anything else you would like to tell the people? Anything like where can they find you? Where can they follow you? Anything about yourself that we haven't covered in this podcast so far?
Well, where can people find me? Mainly on Instagram. That's where I mainly hang out, you could say. If I'm not at shows or anything, that would be Janny, so JANNY_Rose. And maybe as a fun fact, because I actually had recently a few people tell me this, that they weren't aware that my actual name is Janine and not Janny.
I didn't know that.
I did know that.
I didn't know that.
I knew that for one
Really?
reason. The only reason I knew that was because you've either it's one of two things. It's either that you've ordered merch or you've signed up for my mailing list. And one of the
Or
two,
both.
or both, but it's your full name when you do that. And so I was like, "What?"
Yep.
That's the only reason I knew.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Mind
But
blown.
you could almost say it's my artist name, I guess.
That would sound really
Ooh,
cool.
that
I
is
like
cool.
that.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
I like
do
it.
that.
Janny Rose. Because it is just a short version of like Janine Rosenkranz, which is very German and very long. And whenever I mention that name to someone that doesn't speak German, they're like, "Excuse me, bless you."
Christian definitely didn't know that was your last name either, based on his reaction right
No,
now.
I didn't. It just sounded so brutal.
So awesome. And honestly, though, it is a great artist name.
Yeah, it is.
It is a great name to release under.
So one thing I did want to go back to that I forgot
Oh,
Okay.
was so
on.
like this isn't your day job, right?
No. I want it to be my day job eventually. Like I'm working hard at it to make it my day job. But my actual day job is working as a freelance instructional designer. So I make e-learning courses. I do the content concept for those as well as like all the assets. So I edit videos for it. I make
Wow.
graphics for it.
So you're
That's what
made
I do
for
on a
it.
daily basis.
Yeah, you're made for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, kind of. And then there's a lot of things about it that I do enjoy. But at the end of the day, I had to come to terms with the fact that that wasn't going to be my end goal career kind of thing. But yeah,
And you're like
that's what I do.
25, right? You're 25?
24.
Oh, shit.
Don't make me older than I am.
'Cause I
It's the
saw
red
you were
rose, I know.
Christian.
Normally, I'm pretty good with that.
It's all the
but
long nights. Yeah.
that's
no.
about like the time I had the realization too that like I thought I was gonna like, oh, this is fine. I'll do this for a job. And then once I was like 25, I was like, nope, I want to do this.
I feel like the 20s are the time where you're like just really confused and you just try to figure out everything and you rethink your whole life. As brutal as it sounds, but I think especially through the pandemic, just pressing a hold on everything that just gave everyone way more room to think and reflect and just see what they actually wanted to do.
I feel like I've been confused since I came out the womb, though.
That's a good verse.
You know, like I feel like confusion's been my life, but I do get what you're saying. It is like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of bands are good bands specifically for 20-year-olds because they address that type of stuff so much.
What are you trying to say?
What?
What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
Blink 182?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Blink's good at it. I
But
think AJR's good at it. I think
yeah.
Judah and the Lion's really good at it. But there's like a lot of, I feel like when you hear like college music, like music for college age people, it's always about life being confusing and not knowing what they want to do. It's really interesting.
But they made
Yeah.
they made those songs in their 30s.
not all of them.
Blink did.
Not all those
Most
artists,
of them.
but yes,
They
that is
made them
fair.
in
But
the
maybe
30s.
they
That's true.
could still like relate to the 20s so much. Maybe
Yeah.
they were like, the 20s traumatized us, so we need to put this in our art and share it with the world.
Machine Gun Kelly makes
That's true. And
high
he's
school
30.
pop punk.
Yeah. I felt
True,
like that
true.
too. Yeah. Up
True.
until I was like, I don't know, like 24. That's where I was like really confused with like what I wanted to do and stuff. But now, like, I've heard this from a lot of people too. Like, you're like 20 to 24, 25 is like you try to be like what an adult is. But then like once you're 25, you're like, I don't care. I'm just gonna like I'm like 16, but I pay bills. That's what it feels like.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So what is where are you in your process with like doing this as a career, if I were to ask that question?
So right now I am in the process of moving over to the UK. Like I've tried for a few months now, wrote a bunch of applications in all different areas of media marketing and within like e-learning and what I do. But it's been like really difficult because of visa and Brexit and all that lovely stuff. But right now I'm at a point where I have two things in the running. Like I have one job application that's still going for a marketing agency. And I have also done something which I always said I would never do, which is I applied for a postgraduate course in music industry management and artist development.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And after finishing my degree, my bachelor's degree, I always said I would never, ever go back to uni. I would not do it. And then I came across that course and I was like, maybe I'll just apply. So I'm going to hear back from them in a few weeks' time. And hopefully that goes through. And then I'll be moving over to London in January.
Oh hell yeah.
You know, in the wise words of Christian's favorite person, never say never.
Which is you. Never
Justin
say
Harry
Bieber.
Styles?
never. Yeah.
Justin
I know,
Bieber.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And that
Yeah.
would be kind of my big step over learning more about like the industry, learning more about where I want to go. And like my little network that I'm starting to build, most of it is in the UK, most of it is in London. So like just being in that area, meeting the people, being where the creative shit happens. And obviously also because I'm working with Matt on so many things, it'll be easier if we are in the same country in closer proximity. I mean, you guys know how difficult it can be when you're a few hours apart to work on something together.
Yeah.
Yep. We
So,
definitely know
yeah.
that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're doing this. But no, I get it. Like, especially once you start like learning things about like the industry you want to be a part of, like you don't know certain things until you get there. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm gonna take video as an example. Like, I just thought you took the video and you like edited it and like exported it, but I was like, oh, there's color grading. Like, let me back up. They're just like, you know, like in the music
Yeah.
industry, I'm sure just like, okay, how do I like get this artist on Spotify? Oh, cool, I just upload their music, and you're like, wait, press kit, what's that? And then you just like start doing this thing, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So when are you coming to the United States?
Yeah. When are we hanging out?
Yeah.
When are we hanging out? Well, I hope soon. I don't know. Maybe sometime next year. Who knows?
Yup.
Sweet.
Let's make it happen.
Let's see if I'll come over first or if you'll come here first. I mean, petition for both of you to travel to Europe and the UK.
Is
That'd
it a
be so-
race?
that'd
Is
be
this a
cool.
race to see who can get to the other place first?
Hell yeah.
Oh, snap.
I'm down if you are.
Challenge accepted.
I'm down.
Okay.
Okay.
Love it.
Let's do it.
Cool. I've never been to the UK or London or Germany, so it terrifies me a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't.
You'll be
I've never
fine.
been out of the country.
Yeah, you've never been out of the state.
I've barely been out of the state. I
Yeah.
have been out of the state, but barely.
Oh, wow.
I live in a bubble.
Yeah.
True
That's
story.
crazy. Time to pop that bubble.
I agree.
Yeah, I
Venture.
know.
Venture
yeah, just
out.
like fully like immerse you in it and just throw you in the UK.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
down.
We're
Cool.
doing it.
All right, we're doing it.
Set in stone.
We're doing it. We're organizing a little tour so Christian can do some tour photography and
you
videography
go.
and Daniel can do some shows.
So that
Love it.
is my. I've only told this to a few people, but that is like my end goal, is to be like a touring videographer and touring photographer for an artist.
See?
Daniel Sherman.
Look at that.
Matt.
That would be pretty cool.
It's happening.
You got two artists for the
happening.
tour right there. We got to make Matt
yeah.
do it with
Oh
us.
yeah. Tell that to Matt for me. Tell him that like I'd love to shoot a video for him or take photos if I lived over there. That'd be dope.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Cool. You got
Gotta be
anything else
done.
for us, Janny?
Got anything else for you? Maybe. I'm just because I'm curious. What is the next project you two are working on? Like, what are you working on right now? Is
Can
it
we talk
even
about
something
that?
you can mention, or is that not anything you can share?
When is this video coming out?
Whenever you wanted to.
When were you planning on it?
Next week.
Okay. So we've already filmed voices. So that music video will be dropping pretty soon. But today on our itinerary, we are storyboarding for a little song called Killa Killa Bad Guy. And that is going to be our most ambitious video shoot yet, based on the
terrified.
way it's looking right now.
Yeah.
Very big shift for me in my content that's going to happen with that video. So
I feel like, let me know if it was this way for you too. I feel like we started like really high in videos, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but like I feel like we started it
you
pretty
toot
high.
that horn all you want, Christian. It's yours to toot.
Wait.
We need like a little button.
Axel.
What noise was that?
That was awesome. I love that noise. That's how we should start the podcast, with the wah noise she just made.
Wait.
So good.
I will. So I feel like we started pretty good, but like every video we've been doing this, and now we're like up here, and now like we like it's hard to go from here up here now. We can go back
But
down.
we're gonna.
We can go back down pretty easily, but like I feel like I don't know. Did it seem that way for you, like visually? For me, I nitpick everything, so it's like I notice when I stepped everything up. So is that something that you noticed too, in terms of videos?
I think it's definitely noticeable in the way that you're starting to find more of your own style. Like it's kind of becoming like a diamond, you know, that's being polished up a little bit. It was always shiny and nice, but now it's like, ooh, look at that, so
Yeah.
shiny.
Pressure. I
That
definitely
is
feel the
you
pressure.
right now.
Yep.
I feel the
Yeah.
pressure with Killa Killa and Chapter 1, because like we just have to keep moving up, and you know it's hard where we are now, but we'll make it happen.
Yep. And
What
of
else we
course,
got?
Yeah.
of course, there's a bunch of stuff we can't talk about too.
Like what?
I can't talk about it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's a couple records.
Oh
Like-
yeah, you're
There's
right.
a couple
Oh,
records we can't talk about. There's a couple singles we can't talk about. We have the Chronicles of a Calloused Heart EP, which we can talk about.
Okay, yeah.
So we're going to the studio for that in
December.
a month. In a month, we'll be in the studio
Woo!
recording that.
Is there going to be just like studio diaries, like behind the scenes stuff?
Yep.
Yep, he's going to be there filming the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun. I'm
Love
bringing
it.
Jacob with me
Oh.
from Crown and Shane's. He's going to be playing
Oh,
guitar
no
and
way.
probably a little piano as well. So
Oh, love
it'll be
that.
fun. It'll be a fun little trip.
That's
but-
just some of the stuff. There's, like I said, there's a lot more. That's a really hard thing about working with Daniel. It's like you film footage and then you're like, well, nobody can see this for 3 months.
yeah, it's true.
Or
Yeah.
longer.
It's
yeah.
true.
But similar to what you said, it feels good that we have like this like network. Like I know like you, I don't ever expect you to, but when you do it, I'm like, oh shit, like you're still here. Like when you like did a lyric analysis for every song on Uncaged, and
Which, by the way, so cool.
yeah, that was awesome.
So cool. Loved that so much.
Not only because it's like his
Thanks.
stuff, but because it's like my stuff, and like to see it like reutilized, I'm like, oh, I never thought of doing that. You know. So yeah, we have that, and then we have like we know now Trinity who does special effects. We know Richard does behind the scenes, and he looks really intimidating. He's a big, tall, bald guy in Uncaged with all the tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Richard.
he's gonna be here later too.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
I'm pretty sure there's some fans who refer to him as Pitbull.
That's hell.
Okay. Mr.
What was the
Worldwide.
other name you guys were calling him?
I don't know.
Sid Vicious.
I don't know. There's been a bunch of names.
Okay, cool,
I've heard a few from the fans. So
cool.
storytellers they're wild.
Just a little bit,
They're up in their
Yeah.
stories.
Yep. That is this. Did you hear my chair?
dude. It does that all the time.
Yeah, I was
That
about
was
to say,
loud.
what is
I got used
that?
Yeah,
was
I got used to it.
Aggressive squeaking. Goodness
Quite aggressive.
gracious. Well, all right. Thank you so
Cool.
much, Janny, for
Thank you.
popping in from across the
Thank
world.
you.
I
Goodness
thought
Oh
they
gracious.
my
say like
god, this
across
was
the pond.
exciting.
I don't. It's not a pond.
I know, but that's what they say
No, they shouldn't.
in the
It's
UK.
not
It's a big
pond. It's
pond.
an ocean.
Across the pond.
It's an ocean, though.
I know.
Why would we call it a pond?
So thank you. We've been
Ponds
trying
are
to organize
small.
this for like almost a year, right? It's been like almost a year.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's been
I
a
think
while.
it might be.
Yep. Cool. Well, thank you,
finally did
Jenny.
it.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll see you later.
and we will catch all of you
And-
on the flippity flip.